presentation of Fox Sports.
We are the Fourth. We are Florida.
If only Doc Holliday were here tonight, huh? On a Friday night in Miami. What a showdown we've got for you tonight. The Dodgers are here. 5 is the operative number. The Marlins are 5 out in the wild card with 22 to play. The Dodgers are 5 up over the Giants in the West. And yes, Clayton Kershaw returns, and Jose Fernandez gets a start at home. Hi, everybody. Rich Waltz along with Preston Wilson, and welcome to Miami. It's an interesting storyline, and there's a lot of plots going here. Jose at home, terrific. Kershaw having a historic year, back off the DL. Miami trying to get back into the wild card, and the Dodgers trying to win the West.
Well, the Dodgers are trying to do it, and they got their guy back now, and they have to be very happy with that. The Marlins, they're trying to force the issue right now. They're trying to get guys back in that lineup to get this offense going to try to climb back in this wild card race.
When these two teams met, it was all the way back in April, and both these pitchers faced the other team, though not each other. Let's start with Jose. He started in L.A. The Marlins swept that 4-game series, and Jose was outstanding. He got a win in his start.
Well, this was a really good night for Jose. We saw a lot of fastball control, and then you saw that late-breaking slider. I was even impressed with the changeup that he showed that night. It just goes to show you when Jose has every pitch working, when he's throwing strikes and he's efficient, he's dominant. He's not just good, he's great.
The Los Angeles Dodgers' first 15 games in which Clayton Kershaw started, they lost one of those. That was his start against Miami in Los Angeles. That in April as well. He got the Wild West music, and he was really good until the Marlins got to him mid-game.
Well, they got to him, and they did it with having really good at-bats. I remember that shotgun sound of the home run that Giancarlo hit off him that put Kershaw to a knee in that game. And those moments you don't see very often, Kershaw taking a loss.
So it's a great marquee matchup, isn't it? You got Jose, who's 27-2 at home. You've got Kershaw, who's having a historic season. And, of course, the Marlins and the Dodgers with an awful lot to play for. Jose, ready to go. We'll hear from him on his start next. He's in the house on Nicaraguan Heritage Night. Dennis Martinez. Let's go out center field. Jeff Conine, Craig Minervini. Guys.
All right, Rich and Dennis will join you and Preston in the booth during the ball game. We're going to talk about two other pitchers, namely Kershaw and Fernandez. It's a heavyweight matchup here tonight.
First start for Kershaw since late June. Jose Fernandez still dominant here at home. Last time out, not so great in Cleveland, but 10-2 with a 1.9 ERA here at Marlins Park.
All right, we'll see if he'll put that to test here against the Dodgers and how he fares. Some thoughts from Jose on the matchup tonight against Kershaw and LA.
This series coming against the Dodgers, it's bigger too because we got less room for mistakes and less rooms to to less games. We don't don't have that many games to accomplish all we want. So it is very important. Obviously, it's about making one pitch at a time, and I think that's that's a big picture, is making one pitch at a time and then trying to throw the ball with the catcher wants and what the game plan is. But it's a lot easier to set when you're out here speaking, and actually when you're in the mound and locating the pitch is a little harder than saying it.
Jeff, Kershaw comes off a 35-pitch sim game. He threw 15 after that in the bullpen. What can they expect?
Well, you know what? He's in the strike zone so much. He's very efficient with his pitch count. I don't expect him to probably go more than 80 or 90 pitches tonight. But for him, that could be 6th or 7th inning.
That's right. Got to try and make him work if you can, but that's not easy to do. As Don Mattingly says, he just makes you swing at his pitches, and he doesn't throw many out of the strike zone. Jose takes the hill for a marquee matchup in lights. Fernandez and Kershaw. Game 1 coming up.
Is brought to you by Ram. Right now, get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. By Southwest, transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. And by your local Toyota dealers, let's go places. Dodgers Marlins, first of 3. The weekend starts with a marquee matchup. Jose Fernandez and Clayton Kershaw. And the Dodgers are hot. They've won 5 straight. Cue the gunslinger music, and the Dodgers lineup brought to you by U-Health Sports Medicine.
Chase Utley's leading off. Corey Seager, going to see a lot of him this series. Batting second, Justin Turner third. Agon batting fourth. Yasmani Grandal is batting fifth. Josh Reddick sixth. Jock Peterson is in center, batting seventh. Andrew Toles batting eighth, and Clayton Kershaw is in the 9th hole, boys.
Jose Fernandez, for the 2nd time this year, takes aim at the Dodgers. And Fernandez will get Chase Utley, Corey Seager, and Justin Turner right around the corner. Two guys that know each other pretty well. Fernandez and Utley. Obviously, Utley the many years in Philly. Utley has found a home in his native Southern California for the final years of his career. Some thought last year would be the final year, but he's come back this year and played pretty well. 255 average, 321 on base. He's got 21 doubles and a dozen home runs. And a guy that's had great numbers against the Marlins. To first, Johnson is there, and he steps on the bag. Miami defensively tonight. Southwest brings it. Jeff Francoeur, Christian Yelich, Marcell Ozuna. Note Yelich center, Ozuna right. Love the music. Prado at third, Chris Johnson at first, D. Gordon, Denny Echeverria up the middle, JT Realmuto behind the plate. And here is Corey Seager. Many felt a couple months ago Seager a top candidate for National League Rookie of the Year. Now it's Rookie of the Year and maybe MVP. The type of numbers he's put up. Gordon on a hop flips it on over to Johnson. And Fernandez has 2 outs.
Where you see some early attacking going on right now by this Dodgers lineup already. They're trying to get to him early because they don't want to get to that nasty slider. Look at first-year manager Dave Roberts. What a great job he's done with this ball club. There were questions as far as how he would handle it, playing with this big money roster, moving into the big city of LA. I think he's done quite well, Rich.
5 games up over the Giants. Just over 3 weeks left in the season. And here is Justin Turner. If 3 years ago you were to say Justin Turner will be hitting third for the Dodgers, and he'll have 25 bombs and 29 doubles, I think a lot of people would scratch their head and say, really? 99 miles an hour on that fastball. But Turner, with an adjustment to his approach at the plate and his swing, has turned his career around.
You can credit some of that to Mark McGwire. Mark McGwire is one of those guys who, in his work, he always overemphasizes things. And with Justin Turner, the one thing he overemphasizes is getting the ball out front. And that's turned the power up for Justin Turner.
1-2 from Jose. Fastball in 99, and it looked like Turner was sitting breaking ball. The count's even. Jose's throwing hard. Turner gets a piece of 99. The count stays at 2-2.
It was almost like Turner was looking for the slider right there and just saw a fastball and flicked the bat at it. That was an emergency hack at its best just to try to get a piece of it, because he was looking slider, I think.
Two misses outside. And that's 100. So it doesn't look like Jose's holding back at all.
I would say not. This isn't the just kind of ease into it approach. This is aggressive right out the gate.
There's the slider, and he misses low, and Turner walks. And that brings up Adrian Gonzalez.
You see the slider grip, but honestly, I would like to have seen him stay with the fastball right here. If you're going to throw it for 5 straight pitches in the first at bat, go ahead and make it 6. Why show it to him in a 3-2 count when you can risk putting him on in that situation?
Well, Adrian Gonzalez has been having a fine year. Gonzalez a 7-game hit streak, and he takes down low. The Dodgers, without Clayton Kershaw, have been just fine. In fact, without Kershaw, they've been really, really good. 38-24 record. Realmuto out for a visit. And since Kershaw's been out, the Dodgers have picked up 13 games in the standings. And Preston, they've done it with offense. I mean, they have almost a nameless group of starters going out there right now. But Dave Roberts' offense is thick and deep and dangerous.
Well, the middle of the lineup.
Lined into left center field. Francoeur has it. And the Dodgers are set up first and third.
Well, and that guy's a big reason of why that offense has turned around. Agons has gotten his swing back. The power's coming back for him. Justin Turner, we noted his power. And Corey Seager. Those guys have been the core of what's going on in this LA Dodger lineup. And it's a formidable task to get on the mound and try to go through those guys in succession.
Here's the other guy that, well, not the other guy, but one other guy that's really had a fine season. And that is Yasmani Grandal, a Miami guy. He was born in Havana. And of course, Grandal, University of Miami star, really blossoming this year.
Well, the power is definitely showing up for Grandal. 24 home runs.
18 of those home runs have come since June 30th. So this is a guy enjoying a really good second half. You don't often see that from catchers. Slider for a strike, and it's 1-1.
Well, last year, one of the problems in the playoffs for the Dodgers was Grandal's health. He was not healthy in the playoffs. They tried to get him out there. A lot of people felt like the Dodgers should have sat Grandal in the playoffs, especially at the end there in that series against the Mets.
Busted bat, Prado to the wall, and it's 3 rows in. And a new bat needed for the Dodgers catcher.
See a fastball grip, see the rotation, and that's what happens when you don't get the ball far enough down to the barrel. It gives way.
At the corners, a swing and a miss, ball in the dirt. Real Muto picks it and tags Grandal out. Fernandez is through the first. Clayton Kershaw, one of the greatest of this era, and quite frankly, just about any other. He returns to the mound in Miami next. Kershaw right between 65 and 70 pitches in his return from the DL. Miami's lineup brought to you by UHealth Sports Medicine.
Gordon, Real Muto, and Prado are at the top. In the middle, Yelich, Ozuna, and Francoeur. At the bottom, Chris Johnson, Danny Echeverria, and Jose Fernandez. Rich.
Clayton Kershaw now 28. This is his season. 3 complete games in those 16 starts. And he was having a historic year before he went down with the herniated disc. 11-2, a 1.79 ERA. Look at the innings and walks. 121 innings, 9 walks. D. Gordon, JT Realmuto, Martin Prado. And he throws strikes, and don't be surprised if the Marlins much like the Dodgers, are in early ambush mode.
Let's take a look at him. 76 days. That's the last time he was on the mound in the big leagues, Rich. Time for others. Tireless community service. He won the 2012 Clemente Award. Tied to Pluto. His great uncle Clyde Tombaugh discovered Pluto in 1930.
I thought that had a Disney connection to it for some reason. Utley throws the first.
It's the other Pluto, Rich.
In time to get Gordon. Dodgers defensively, the Dodgers are the best defensive team in terms of fewest errors and fielding percentage in the big leagues. Southwest brings you their lineup. Andrew Tolles in left, Jock Peterson in center, Josh Reddick in right, Adrian Gonzalez and Justin Turner on the corners, Chase Utley, Corey Seager up the middle, Yasmani Grandal behind the plate. Real Muto, fastball strike. Now Miami saw Kershaw, beat Kershaw. That was back in April. Real Muto is 2 for 5 against him in his career. There's the breaking ball. It bounces.
Any pitcher who has a little different something always tends to give guys a little trouble. See that little herky-jerky pulse at the top, kind of reminiscent of Rob Nen with that little stutter step he had. It can always disrupt the guy's timing if you haven't seen it in a while.
Fastball is in. Brian Knight gets to call balls and strikes tonight. Tony Randazzo, Bill Miller, and Tom Woodring. And yes, umpires get pumped up for a night like this when they get to ride along with Kershaw and Jose. Real Muto to left field. That's hit deep, and it's gone. 1-0 Miami.
Talked about how much JT Real Muto likes the ball down in the zone. He's really starting to drive the ball a lot better lately. He gets one down, and he puts a great swing on it. And the result, Rich, later, Tater.
Number 10 for Real Muto.
See the pitch down in the zone. He gets it out front, but he stays through it. He doesn't hook it.
Martin Prado now, and you've got Yelich behind him. Well, the Marlins have handled lefties this year. They've got the second best winning percentage in all of baseball against lefty starters. Pittsburgh is the only team better. Obviously, this is no ordinary lefty, but you know what? Kershaw is included in that number. The Marlins beat him in April. Prado goes after a high fastball. Grandal out for a visit, and the count 1-1.
It's an interesting spot for a Marlins team who does have a lot of youth on it, and they're in a position where they have to have a sense of urgency, but at the same time you have to slow them down and have them play the game pitch by pitch. You have to have them anticipating what's going to happen so nothing surprises them. And that's tough with a young team, to try to keep them in the moment, but understanding the urgency of the moment.
Kershaw misses down low, and it's 2-1. 3 Cy Youngs, 6 All-Star visits, an MVP, a little tapper. Grandal has it, fires the first just in time to get Prado. And here comes Christian Yelich. Yelich having an outstanding season. Goes after the first pitch. And he fouls it out of play. Now with 35 doubles, Yelich has put himself in the top 10. He is 6th in doubles, just outside the top 10 in hitting. And now finds himself this. I mean, think about this. Who would have thought a month ago that Yelich would be in center field and hitting cleanup? That's where he is. Don Mattingly really likes him in center, going side to side.
Well, Rich, there's only so many guys who can play center field for the Marlins and hit cleanup. You know,
that's right. I forgot. That was you. What year? 99, 2000. Yelich swings.
Yeah.
And of course, Giancarlo Stanton against the Dodgers and against Kershaw. He had a big series in LA, as he usually does, including a home run in the inning that took Kershaw down. Big breaking ball. Yelich taps it towards second. A little glove flip there by Utley, and the inning is over. But Miami's on the board first. JT Realmuto is hot, and he blasts his 10th of the year.
Presentado a ustedes por Kendall Toyota y West Kendall Toyota.
Jose Fernandez back to work. Big breaking ball for a strike. And that opens up the second. JT Realmuto home run on the board for the Fish. This is Josh Reddick, and he sends one out into left center field, and that's a hit. His bat broke apart. Reddick, who's been slow to get going for the Dodgers, all of a sudden has a little bit of traction after coming over from Oakland. That's one of the things the Dodgers have done since Kershaw went out, is they've acquired a lot of different guys, collecting them to fill in for injuries, and his rosters have expanded. Dave Roberts has 35 guys suited up and ready to go tonight for the Dodgers. Bud Norris, Rich Hill, Reddick, Jesse Chavez, Chooch, Carlos Ruiz, Josh Fields, all guys that the Dodgers have accumulated. There's Jock Peterson. Got Andrew Tolles behind him.
Well, you'd like for your trade guys that you get in a trade to come over and be hot and ready right away. But sometimes it takes time. Reddick had some injury issues, but if there's a time when you want to get them going, it's going into the playoffs. That's when the payoff really happens. I feel like that's something one of my uncles would say, Rich. The payoff is a playoff.
Playoffs. That's where the Dodgers are headed. Having won 5 straight, they're 5 up over the Giants. A little over 3 weeks left. Fernandez with a changeup that misses out to a powerfully built Peterson, who can really crank it when he gets a hold of one. There's the West. The Dodgers won 79 games already.
One of the things they've really tried to do with Jock Peterson is to slow his head down a little bit. And what I mean by that is he was drifting towards the pitcher in his swing, and that can produce a lot of power, but it also will produce a lot of swings and misses. So they're trying to find a way for him to keep his head a little more still in his swing, and he'll square more balls up.
Peterson walks, and just like that, the Dodgers have a pair of base runners on. They had 2 on in the first. And another visit from Real Muto for Jose. Andrew Tolles now. Tolles getting a start out in left. He goes at the first pitch. Both these teams are swinging early. There's no question about that.
But when you got 2 pitchers that have the quality stuff that Kershaw and Fernandez have, you don't want to get to those nasty pitches. With Fernandez, you don't want to get that 2-strike slider. With Kershaw, you don't want to get that big Uncle Charlie coming at you when you got 2 strikes. So you want to attack early. The first thing you see that's straightened down the middle, you unleash.
Tolles pulls it. Foul. Wow, that's close. And that could have scored a couple. Tolles, the guy that came up in the Rays minor leagues. Dodgers signed him as a free agent after last season.
Yeah, ball just hooking, just foul. Had plenty on it, but not enough fair territory.
And a swing and a miss. A big strikeout to get for Jose.
Got the ball up and away from him. Can't touch that.
All right. Last outing for Jose. Fastball commands. Fox Vision shows you the target and where the ball ended up. And these were the balls that were hit hard and did the most damage for the Indians. And when you miss against the Indians, lately they will make you pay. Kershaw trying to bunt, and he taps that one foul.
Well, it just goes to show you the margin of error when you have a quality hitting team becomes a lot smaller. You don't even have to miss as far as down to up. Like if your target's down and you miss up, no, it could be down, but 6 inches over the plate is going to get you crushed. And that's what you saw in those that illustration right there, Rich.
Jose spins, and drifting off there was Reddick at second. Count 0-1 to Kershaw.
Sometimes that'll shorten up a base runner's lead just a little bit on those bunts.
There's the bunt. Jose barehands it, fires to first, and gets the outs. So a big at bat for Utley now with 2 outs. The all-new RAV4 and Toyota bring you an inside look. We're talking about in the 76 days he was gone, the Dodgers went 38-24, and man, we documented the offense, the numbers some of these guys have piled up in that run. Dodgers were 8 back and now are 5 up.
Sorry, Rich, that stat in itself tells me that no starting pitcher should win MVP. Sorry, if you play in 30% of the games, you should not win MVP. Don't care how good you are.
Bouncer up the middle. Echeverria's got it on to first in time, and Chase Utley bounces out. Dodgers lead 2, 1-0 Miami. position players. If you go back to 2014, remember that was the year that Clayton Kershaw started the season on the DL. Giancarlo Stanton, hit by that pitch in Milwaukee, finished the year on the DL. And Stanton finished second to Kershaw in that MVP race.
And I want to state, I'm in no way diminishing Clayton Kershaw's greatness. He's a great pitcher. But when you talk about MVP, Giancarlo Stanton impacts the game every day. And you can say, well, Kershaw finished the season and Stanton didn't. That shouldn't matter. Especially because Kershaw was on the DL at the beginning of the year. So in essence, they had about the same amount of availability for the season. But Giancarlo Stanton impacts so many different games, so many more games than Clayton Kershaw.
Marcell Ozuna takes a strike. And the count's 0-2. Ozuna, Jeff Francoeur, Chris Johnson. Miami getting a run in the first on it. JT Realmuto, solo homer. Struck him out. 3 pitches. Ozuna goes down. And we check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Rich, the modern game has changed. There are a lot more strikeouts today, but what Clayton Kershaw is doing this season, even in the 16, now 17 starts, is ridiculous. It is historic as you look at his strikeout to walk ratio. Look at the number on the bottom first. The starter average this year, 2.62 strikeouts to every 1 walk. Over the last 10 years, 2.4. And his numbers, again, if we could take another look, 16.1 strikeouts to every 1 walk, 145 strikeouts, and just a ridiculous 9 walks. And in the top 20, the only guys before 1995 are at 19 and 20. That's Fergie Jenkins and Cy Young, who had a 7-to-1 ratio in 1905. So it really is unbelievable. As Don Mattingly said, yeah, you'd like to work his pitch count up. That's not very easy to do.
No, I had a chance to talk to Mattingly about managing Kershaw, and one of the things that he pointed out, just like you did, Craig, he doesn't walk people. He has good strikeout numbers. And if somebody gets on first base, you can't run against him because he has a terrific move to first. He has 57 pickoffs in his career. Francoeur fouls it at the plate. Counts 2-2.
All of those things in totality are what make him an elite pitcher. Not just having stuff. There's a lot of guys in the major leagues with good stuff, but to have good stuff with good command, that's impressive. And then when he does allow someone to get on, if you end up stopping at first base, you better be careful because that may be your last move with his pickoff move.
Francoeur going after it. Now Jeff Francoeur obviously has been in the National League a lot. And is 4 for 12 against Clayton Kershaw. Fastball that just misses out, 94 miles an hour. That's the fastball that caught Ozuna looking.
Yeah, we've seen 90, 93, 94 miles an hour fastball. Then we've seen that 89 miles an hour cutter.
Fastball ripped fair, and into the corner it goes. And Francoeur around first, on his way to second with a 1-out double.
Well, Francoeur's always been a good fastball hitter. This ball ends up getting up in his zone a little bit for Kershaw. And Frenchie does what you're supposed to do. See the catcher reaching up? That's when you know the bad things happen when you're a pitcher. And right there, Francoeur does what you're supposed to do, hit that ball down the line, gets himself in score position. And Chris Johnson now has an opportunity.
It's his first career extra base hit against Kershaw. Chris Johnson now with 1 out, and you've got Echeverria on deck. Now Johnson against Kershaw is rather lopsided in Kershaw's favor. Chris is 1 for 15. It's a foul tip and a strike on that walk to strikeout ratio that Craig showed about 5 minutes ago, Pedro Martinez's name popped up, and I think that's kind of the guy you compare Kershaw's numbers to in terms of his career. 125 wins, 58 losses, and a 2.39 ERA. If he keeps going at this point, he'll have better numbers. Line drive into center field, off the glove of Utley. Francoeur coming home. Throw is cut, and Miami makes it 2-0.
Great swing by Chris Johnson. This breaking ball stays up in the zone. 2 batters in a row. We've seen Kershaw not get the ball down where he wants to. Marlins hitters have made him pay. You see the grip there. See that over-the-top rotation. Chris Johnson, eyes locked on it. Line drive up the middle. Rich, the Marlins are extremely fortunate that this ball didn't get caught. I don't think Francoeur was aware of how close Chase Utley was playing to second base. That ball hit off his glove, and Francoeur took off like it was a sure single right off the bat.
So Miami has a 2-0 lead. The other thing to watch here as this inning unfolds is pitch count. Keep in mind that the minor league teams have shut down unless they're in the postseason. And so for Rick Honeycutt and Dave Roberts, trying to rehab a pitcher or ramp up a pitcher in terms of pitch count is darn near impossible right now unless you just bring him to the big leagues and do it in the big leagues. And the Dodgers essentially are doing that with Kershaw tonight. Three innings at Rancho Cucamonga. That's in the California League. And that's it for Kershaw. That's after 2 months on the disabled list. Marlins are faced with that same dilemma with Wei-Yin Chen, with David Phelps, and with Adam Conley as they try to get those guys back here in September. Echeverria, a long look down to Lenny Harris. Echeverria against Kershaw, 1 for 9. But the 2 righty bats who do well against lefties have hits here this inning. Francoeur a double and Johnson an RBI single.
And you can see the rust with Kershaw, because usually the one thing he does is finish his pitches. The ball gets down in the zone, and right now you're seeing a lot of balls around belt high, upper thigh high. That's not Clayton Kershaw as we know him.
Echeverria chases a high fastball.
Rich, when a guy's coming off a significant injury like this herniated disc issue that Kershaw has, one of the things you look for is he finishing his pitches? Do you see that extension through the strike zone? And I know that's something that Dave Roberts and his coaching staff are really keeping their eye on right now, especially when you're seeing the ball up in the zone. Is he finishing that normal motion? Is he driving down through the ball?
Two and two. Of course, you've got Jose on deck, and he's not your normal pitcher when it comes to hitting. Echeverria fights that fastball off.
Yeah, you're just seeing a lot of pitches in the middle of the plate right now from Kershaw.
And again, the pitch count about to be at 34. That's in. The Dodgers have said somewhere between 60 and 70 is where they want him. And at this rate, that gets him to the 4th inning.
Well, and the Dodgers bullpen has not been as good as it has been in the past. So that's one thing that you really want. You want to try to get that pitch count up, get to that bullpen.
That one fouled off. But the big picture for the Dodgers is game 1 of the National League Division Series, and in all likelihood that will be against the Washington Nationals. Now the Dodgers have to hold their 5-game lead, and that's the Giants-Dodgers, and anything can happen there. But I don't think the Nationals are going to catch the Cubs for home field, which means the Cubs would end up playing the winner of the wild card game. 3-2. Good at bat here by Echeverria. And for Kershaw, the price exacted here in the 2nd inning, 22 pitches. Pitch number 10 coming here to Adeiny Echeverria. He got him with a fastball. Second strikeout. Jose's on the way, and so is the 2017 All-Star Game. If you place your deposit on a season ticket for next year, it guarantees you access to the game in Miami. Don't miss your chance to secure seats for this once-in-a-generation event and all the All-Star Week activities. Deposits start at just $250. 1-877-MARLINS or go to marlins.com/season tickets. Jose never one to shy away from a matchup on the mound or at the plate. Whoa! Right back at him into center field. As I said, Jose relishes the opportunity to hit against any pitcher, and he nearly undressed Kershaw there.
Wow. That's chuck and duck time right there, Rich. So again, the pitch that I'm seeing a lot of trouble with is that cutter. It doesn't seem to have the same effect as the 4-seamer that he's throwing. His 2-seamer or the curveball, the cutter seems to be the one that's getting hit the hardest. And wow, Jose does a great job of keeping his hands inside that thing and taking it right back up the middle. For a lot of guys, you might roll over that pitch and get into an easy double play.
Here's Gordon now, and the Marlins can really put a hurt by picking up a 2-out run. They stretch the lead to 2-0. Gordon bounced to second back in the first. D, a couple of bunt base hits on Wednesday as he tries to pull out of what's been a slump for him since returning from his suspension. It's 0-2. Dennis Martinez, Nicaraguan Heritage Night, and El Presidente is El Present. He's here.
Hey, all right.
He'll be in the booth. And we'll get his take on these two guys.
This guy asked him what he had against my dad.
Gordon stays alive and fouls it back.
I seem to remember him getting my dad out quite a bit. Yeah.
He got a lot of guys out.
Rich,
quite a bit.
Rich, this is personal.
There's some Nicaraguan jerseys and caps. And Gordon strikes out. But Kershaw's pitch count is well over 40. And the Marlins have a 2-0 lead.
6 in a row have been retired by Dennis Martinez. 1-2 pitch. In the air. Center field. Grissom. El Presidente.
Well, that was quite a moment. Perfect game. Dennis Martinez, native of Nicaragua. And tonight it is Nicaraguan Heritage Night here at the ballpark, and he joins us. El Presidente, welcome to the booth.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's good to have
Thank
you
my
here.
Man. It's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
And it's a perfect night for you. Not only is it Nicaraguan Heritage Night, but you've got two of the best pitchers in baseball to watch tonight, Jose Fernandez and Clayton Kershaw. Now, you live down here in South Florida, so you've seen Jose pitch now for a few years. What do you like best about him, and what do you see tonight?
Well, I think Jose is a legit pitcher for the Marlins. He can be the ace in any other team. One thing that I see to me, I mean, is, you know, as a pitcher, you have to establish your fastball. Fastball is the best pitcher in baseball, and to me, I think he's using too much breaking ball. A slider, he's using too much, and that's in a way he play against him because, you know, when he tries to throw the fastball, he's not really located when he want to be. You know, so you know he's pitching like a backwards. I don't know why, but you know, you need to establish the fastball in and out, and then use the breaking ball and you change up. And I bet you he can be a different monster that way.
Now, I've heard you're not the first to say that. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner, and Corey Seager doesn't like it. He and the home plate umpire, Brian Knight, exchanging words. That's a strike. That's plainly a strike.
Yeah, that's a strike.
And that's in the zone. Got the plate, and it's belt high. So more fastball command is your prescription.
Well, I mean, you know, that's how you do it. I mean, pitching this, you know, if you don't establish your fastball, if you don't have a command, I mean, my philosophy as a pitcher was that as long as I pitch, and I know Preston, you know, his kind of report against me was Dennis Martinez, he liked to establish his fastball low and away. First pitch, low and away, looking for that pitch. And still, I went with my strength. What I did was to concentrate and stay focused and go with my strength, which was locate my fastball low and away. And then once in a while, I was going in to try to keep the hitter honest. But those pitches, in and out, it made my breaking ball and my changeup a lot better. So looking to Fernandez, he has a fastball that 95, 97 miles per hour. I wish I could throw that fast when I was throwing. Mine was 91, 92. But those guys, I mean, if you look at it, every time that he get hit, it's because he cannot throw the fastball in the occasion that he wanted to. He leave it right in the plate.
Now, Dennis Martinez pitched for 23 years in the big leagues. That means that's 2 generations of Wilsons.
Yeah.
Mookie, your father, and you, Preston. How did that work out?
Oh, I just wanted to ask you, and you know, what did you have against the Wilson family?
Hey. I always try to, you know, to get these guys out and keep it off bases because, I mean, you know, Mookie being as a little guy, I mean, you know, from the Met, he tried to get in base somehow, and I tried to get, you know, keep it off bases because that's the guy that do the damage on the bases for you. I mean, and one of my focus that I did as a pitcher was to keep those guys off the bases because when the big boys come to the plate, I don't have to worry about those guys. So, I mean, I was successful in some way. I don't know. I used a lot of breaking ball. I know they were good fastball hitters, so. You know, my best pitch was my breaking ball, so I had to use it more.
Well, it feels like since you have arrived, Jose's throwing more fastballs here. He's got a couple caught looking. That one looked like it was just off the edge of the plate. And here is Adrian Gonzalez.
You see, he has some break. His slider is so outstanding. I mean, that's a great pitch for him. I mean, if he minimized and just used to try to get to in situation and count where try to get the guys out or strike him out somehow, he can you know, he can pitch a complete game a lot of different ways because that's what I need to do. I mean, what I see a lot of times is that they go 5-6 innings and they already have 120 pitches. That's a lot of pitches for them because what they focus more on is just striking out people instead than pitch to contact. You know, don't be afraid to pitch contact and let the people behind you defend the pitches.
Would you say that's a big difference that you see in pitchers now as opposed to before? Pitchers want to go for strikeouts as opposed for getting outs and letting strikeouts come in that process.
Right. I mean, you know, and that go along because the radar gun, they showed, wow, 97 per hour. they throw harder. Instead, then, I mean, that's the generation that we talked about when we were pitching the Maddox, the Smalls, the Dennis Martinez. You know, the guy that we don't throw any hard, but we locate the fastball everywhere that we wanted to.
Now, how many did you strike out in your perfect game against the Dodgers?
Maybe 5 or 6. But I got a lot of ground balls.
You probably got some help from Tim Wallach at third base.
Yes, I did. And it's amazing because, you know, the line of the shield, he was a not good defensive second baseman, but he got like about 17 ground balls to him. I mean, and I make it work that day to him.
Well, the fastball working. We're back with Dennis Martinez after this. Look, El Presidente was right. 3 fastball strike threes. With Kershaw and Jose.
Outside corner. See?
Never change.
That's it. Yeah. Little movement for lefty, run it out to second base.
Coors Light cold hard fact, 23 seasons, 245 wins, 4 times an All-Star, and the 9th pitcher with 100 wins in both the American League and the National League. A lot of his American League damage with the Baltimore Orioles of the late 70s, early 80s, and of course a great run in Montreal. Dennis Martinez is with us. Now, wherever this man travels, whether it's to the grocery store, to a restaurant, to a ball game, he has that in his hands, and that is a baseball. And show the ball. I want to get your thoughts on pitch grips, especially with Clayton Kershaw on the mound. We watched JT Realmuto homer off of what looked like a cutter, and that's the pitch that Kershaw had trouble. Did you throw a cutter at all in your day?
No, I did not.
All right, here's the grip, and here's a look at it. And there it goes.
You see, the reason that I never tried to learn that pitch because that's the pitch that if you don't make it where you want to throw it, it's going to way up there. So I could not afford to throw that pitch because I don't want to get hit that way. So I rely on my fastball in and out, my good changeup, and my nasty curveball. I had a pretty good curveball.
Did you throw
you did.
a 4-seam and a 2-seam, or did you stick with one?
Yes, 4-seamer when I wanted to go low and away against right-hander. 2-seamer when I want to go low and away against lefties. Or into the righties too to try to jam them.
Into center field. All right, show me that nasty curveball grip, the pitch that you threw that was nasty, and why did you grip it there?
Well, the reason was because when I release the ball, I release it like this. So I get the 4-seamer going around, and that will make it that baby for the hitter to not watch it, the rotation.
Yeah, you get that red
They
blur.
always get the same rotation
Right.
like at the fastball 4-seam when we throw the 4-seam. So that was the reason that I did it like this. A lot of people hold it like this. Some people different grip. As long as they work, but mine was here. So my curveball was here, and I snap it like that.
Who taught you that?
It was natural.
Yeah?
I had it all the way from Nicaragua. Yeah, I came all the way from Nicaragua for some reason with that breaking ball.
All right, in your 23 years, I'm sure you ran into some young pitchers trying to make it in the big league. Did you ever teach that grip and that pitch to any notable
yes.
guys?
As a matter of fact, I did when I was with the Cardinals. I was in the minor league with them for 6 years in Jupiter. And I had a Lance Lynn, I had a Waka, Carlos Martinez, Maynez, all of those guys that are in the big league right now, Kevin Seagrass. And some of those guys, you know, try to make sure that they understood what it takes to put a good breaking ball. A lot of times they try to throw it so hard that they don't give a chance to the ball to break. So I try to make them sure that they play with them and try to rotate the ball. So the less speed that the ball have, the better breaking it's going to be.
2-2 pitch from Kershaw. Is this a guy that if he's pitching, you'll find him on television and watch?
Yes, I always do. Because, I mean, you don't see a pitcher like that. I mean, when you see Kershaw, you always need to learn from that guy. It's so good. I mean, you know, it's so, you don't see a pitcher like him anymore. I mean, his way that his behavior, his composure that he in the mound, left-hander. I mean, it's something unique on him. And you know, when you see those guys like that, I like to see what they're doing, what sequence they're using.
Let's take a look at this last pitch right here. See, that's another one of those cutters, but it gets down enough in the bottom of the zone from Prado they can get it. Now you've seen a lot of pitches. You yourself were an incredible pitcher. I remember watching you, facing you, all of that. What is it about Kershaw that separates him from the good pitchers to be one of the elite pitchers that he is right now?
Well, being a lefty one, I mean, you know, and also the way that his mannerism that he uses, you know, the deception. Yeah, the deception that he has, it's not easy to pick out the ball from him as a hitter. I think that's what he make it, you know, so special. And you know, and the ball, you don't pick out this ball until you see it right in front of you. And I think that's hard to do it. I was that way myself. I hide the ball real well. The hitter, they never see it until I was just on top of them, let the ball go. So that's what they tell me. I always talk to the hitters. My friends, they were hitters. There were not too many pitchers. A lot of hitters, I always find out that I would try to pick out their brain, what they were using against me, what they thinking about me, and also at the same time they were trying to get me going, you know, just to try to let them know what I'm gonna throw sometime too. Like Tony Gwynn, one time. Doesn't matter what you do with Tony Gwynn, you always ended up 3-2. And then you got to throw a fastball, and he's still going to get his knock. So I tell him one time, hey, Tony, from now on, first pitch, fastball. Second pitch, fastball. Third pitch, fastball. Don't look for anything else. I'm not going to waste more pitches. We were in San Diego, first pitch, fastball. He looked at me and go, it's that ladder. I told you, next one, another fastball. Took it, fastball, strike two. I go, well, are you going to stay there? Okay, I'm going to throw another one. And he took it, and I struck him out. So
he didn't strike out much.
Jedi trick on Tony Gwynn.
Yeah, but I told him, I said, but he didn't believe me, all right? So next time I throw first pitch, fastball again. I said, fastball. Land right to center. I said, hey, it's okay. 1 out, 1 pitch. Right. But you see,
Yelich is going to beat this out for a hit. Ball ends up in shallow right.
Oh, it's funny.
Because you know, in the back of his mind, he's like, I don't trust him.
Right.
I don't trust him. Yeah, this is too good to be true. This has got to be a trap.
Right.
Dennis, before this inning gets finished, Nicaraguan baseball. World Baseball Classic is coming up. What's the state of baseball in Nicaragua in terms of guys that are getting to the big leagues and development?
Well, right now we have a couple guys coming up. Cesar Kerber with the Kansas City Royals, third baseman. We have J.C. Ramirez with the California Angels as a reliever, and we have the kid Ramirez from the Tampa Rays. Also, we have Blandino in Double-A with the Cincinnati Reds. We have a kid from Veras from the Texas Rangers, and a couple other guys in the minor league that they come in real strong. We have a lapse time when the government in Nicaragua, you know, it was a different period of time where baseball, it wasn't not really anymore. I mean, you know, the way it was before that. So we lose like about maybe 10, 15 years of development those kids, because there was a time where they were going to go into the Army and all that kind of thing. So now it start coming back, and they start reinforcing now again, you know, compromise with the minor league, with the little league, and everything else. So that's why we see now more people, more kids coming up to professional level. And I think in the next 10, 15 years, we're going to see a lot more players from Nicaragua to the big leagues.
Here's the 1-1. Now, when you go back to Nicaragua and you walk down the street, do people call you El Presidente?
Well, yeah, they do. They do. And you know what? I mean, sometimes the people, they don't like to hear that, but you know, they do it with respect, and I like that because, you know, in some way, it's like they showing you that you did something, and they appreciate that, and at the same time, they feel like, well, I'm not getting any younger either, so I'm getting old, so you know, everybody's younger than me. So they, you know, in our country, we saying that you gotta respect the old people, and they don't, maybe they don't have no other way to say something toward me. That they said, "The Presidente, how you doing?" So I go, "Just fine, and you?" So I can feel that they do it with respect,
yes.
and I kind of like it.
Well, there's probably a lot of other things they could say. El Presidente is that's pretty cool. 1-2 pitch to Marcell Ozuna. Kershaw misses in with a fastball, and the one thing here for both of you guys, this may be the last inning for Kershaw. I mean, he's at 63 pitches right now, and they've been high-stress innings.
Well, the one thing the Marlins have done is they've been able to hit him when he's up in the zone. And do you think with a guy coming off an injury like that, is that something you look for to see if he's finishing his pitch, especially a back injury?
Yeah, I think it's not easy what he's going through. I mean, especially with that kind of injury that he had. I mean, you know, that's something that it's not easy to be able to pitch, and I think he's doing it. But he's not able to finish his pitch, and that's why he lifted it up a little bit. So he's kind of compensating and trying not to feel hurt when he throws that pitch. But I think this is an outing for him as a spring training type of thing to be able to come back. We will see what will happen to him, and maybe in the next to start again and see how good it is. If he's comfortable, if he's 100% back again, and then we will be watching another pitcher, a different pitcher than we see it now. So, well, we're lucky as a Marlin now that, you know, we get a chance to face him in this situation because we can take advantage of that, and that's good for us because we need to win every little game from now on.
Yeah.
So,
yes.
You know, but I think we'll be all right.
3-2 coming to Ozuna. Yelich on the move, and a swing and a miss. El Presidente, El Perfecto. It's great to see you at the ballpark. I can't believe we haven't had you up here before, but please come back.
Thank you.
And bring the baseball too.
Well,
it's great seeing you when you're not standing on the mound. I appreciate that.
Nicaraguan heritage.
There they are.
Top four. I guess the story here tonight, it's Jose against Kershaw, but Kershaw might be out of bullets. Now, just 3 innings in a minor league rehab start. And jumping into the rotation here, the Dodgers felt right around 65, 70 pitches. And that's where he is right now. So we'll see if he comes back out. Dave Roberts, Bob Guerin, his bench coach, contemplating that right now. Meanwhile, Jose is back on the mound. He struck out the side in the 3rd. Yasmani Grandal waits. Count is 1-2. Grandal, Josh Reddick, and Jock Peterson for the Dodgers. And that fastball has been an absolute weapon. T-Mobile gives you greater coverage of baseball. Let's go back in time, not that far away. Tyler Austin, a walk-off shot as the Yankees are trying to surge. Steven Strasburg, strained flexor mass in his right arm, out indefinitely. Tim Tebow is a member of the Mets organization, and they will use him, according to Terry Collins, they will use him on short yardage situations. Josh Reddick swings and drives the ball into right center field. Yelich giving chase, and he can't get there. Cuts it off on the track, though, and Reddick will settle for a double. So a 1-out double, 2 hits for Reddick off of Jose. And up comes Jock Peterson.
Oh, but I was so glad to hear Dennis Martinez talk about the importance of just establishing your fastball, being able to throw your fastball where you want to. You know, because I think that's something that gets lost, and we see the breaking ball that doesn't get down right there from Jose. It's something that gets lost when we get in this radar gun age of having pitchers understand that even if a guy swings at a pitch, doesn't mean that he's going to hit it well. Even if a guy makes contact with it, doesn't mean it's going to be a hit if you locate well. And that was, we sat here and we spoke about it. He was like, you knew I was going to throw the ball down and away. I'm like, yeah, I knew you were going away, but I was hoping that if it was away, you were going to make a mistake with it up. Because if you threw it where you wanted to, I was just going to hit a ground ball to second base, and neither one of us, you know, I don't want that. You want that. I don't want that. So it's really all about establishing your fastball, throwing it where you want to, and then saving that other stuff for situations where man in scoring position, 2 strikes where you really need a strike, a man on third with less than 2 outs when you need a strikeout. But other than that, don't be afraid to pitch to contact. And as we've seen in this inning, Jose's still going to get strikeouts even if he's trying to pitch to contact.
Backdoor breaking ball, and that is strike 3 called. 7 punch outs for Jose Fernandez.
There's 5 out of the last 6 batters that have punched out. Got ahead with 2 strikes, and then you throw the breaking ball, and Jock Peterson couldn't pull the trigger.
And remember, the 4 previous strikeouts in this run were all on fastballs. Andrew Tolles now pulls one wide of first. Howie Kendrick is on deck. And that's the 9 spot. That's Kershaw's spot. So the Dodgers bullpen is ready to go. Lewis Coleman. For Dave Roberts, the goal is to have Kershaw rocking and rolling by the time October rolls around. He's got 3 weeks to get there.
Dennis Martinez also echoed something that I was saying. He said he doesn't, not quite sure if Kershaw's finishing the pitches. Like, you know, when you see a guy like Kershaw, and he's so dominant, especially when he's down in the zone, he will expand up when he wants to for effect. But his command is so good that you don't see that many pitches in the middle of the strike zone, especially that belt high, upper thigh high region. So you know it's a first start back. There's a little bit of mound rust there. And if you're the Marlins, you're just glad you caught him right now.
Jose with that fastball gets a strike. It's 2-2. 7 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Jose's pitch count in the low 60s. And he got him. A running fastball, 8 strikeouts for Jose Fernandez. He's through 4. Headed to the bottom of the 4th in Miami tonight. Kershaw's out, and Miami's up 2-0. By Ram right now. Get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. By Checkers, fast foodies know the deal. And by Warren Henry, now celebrating our 40th year as Miami's best luxury dealer. What a great shot that is here in the Magic City tonight. Jose Fernandez with 8 strikeouts through 4 innings. Clayton Kershaw is done after 3. Rick Honeycutt, longtime pitching coach for the Dodgers. And Lewis Coleman comes in out of Greenwood, Mississippi. Pitched at LSU. Pitched in the Kansas City Royals organization and with Kansas City. Matt Coleman, part of the Royals bullpen for the last 5 years. Backhanded there is Turner, and he throws out Jeff Francoeur. Miami has a couple runs, a Real Muto homer in the first. Francoeur doubled against Kershaw in the second, and the man coming to the plate singled him home, Chris Johnson. All right, Preston, if you're Don Mattingly, obviously your lineup had right-handed bats, guys like Johnson, Francoeur in it because of Kershaw. He's gone. So a Dietrich, an Ichiro, a Justin Bour. When do you mix those guys in, or do you mess with a 2-0 game?
Well, I wouldn't do anything just yet. The situation has to present itself, because I don't want to burn those bats just because, especially if there's nobody. Now, if there's an RBI situation that you got a chance to drive in and run man on third with less than 2 outs, yeah, you might make a move there to try to force the issue, to try to get some insurance runs. Oh, sometimes you just like to see just let that lineup play. You got the lead, let it play out, because you never know what you're going to need on the back end of that game. So when you have the lead, you can play it a little bit more conservatively.
Two and two to Chris Johnson. Johnson's liner was just off the outstretched glove of Chase Utley. And he couldn't hold up.
Yeah, that one he threw a little harder. We saw the sliders before were 80 miles an hour. That was 82. Didn't quite get a chance to register that as a breaking ball. Could not hold up and check the swing.
Danny Echeverria now. He struck out back in the second. The Dodgers have a squadron of relievers here tonight. There's Barry Bonds with his arm around Chris Johnson. 13 relief pitchers. 13 of them. Now the Marlins are deep as well. That's September baseball. That's just one wing of the Dodger bullpen.
Yeah, it's kind of crowded down there.
Yeah, because there's more guys sitting up by the fence. And I wonder how the pecking order goes if it's fence seats first.
Well, I think it's the guys that have been here. They choose whatever seat they want, and everybody else just kind of has to fill in the dots.
And to center field, Peterson makes the catch. Lewis Coleman works a 1-2-3. There you go. Those are the rail seats. Broadcasting to U.S. Armed Forces serving around the world on land and on ships at sea. Welcome to Miami tonight. Welcome to a terrific matchup. You've got Dodgers and Marlins. Jose Fernandez against Clayton Kershaw. But Kershaw is gone. Howie Kendrick is up. And Kendrick takes outs. So Kershaw goes 3. Kendrick hitting in Coleman's spot. Coleman working for just an inning. And wherever you are, whether you're on a ship at sea or stationed somewhere around this globe, first of all, thank you for everything that you do. Kendrick takes a fastball up and in. Secondly, to bring you up to speed, you've got Miami, a team that's been playing without a big chunk of their lineup, both rotation and order. 5 out of the wild card with 22 to play. So they're playing for postseason lives right now. Other side of the coin, you've got the Los Angeles Dodgers, who without Clayton Kershaw have a 5-game lead over the hated Giants in first place in the West. Dave Roberts, a first-year skipper, has done a fine job. Last year's skipper, who was the only manager in Dodger history to manage the Dodgers into the postseason in 3 consecutive years. Last year's manager is across the diamond. Leadoff walk to Kendrick. Utley takes a strike. Chase Utley has bounced out twice in this ball game.
He's bounced out twice, but he is known to get big hits against the fish. He is one of the noted Marlin killers of all times. Just seems to come up with that big knock, that big RBI. And unfortunately for the Marlins, he was playing in the same division. Look at those numbers. That's a season, 178 games, 281, 30 home runs, 125. I'd take that in a year, Rich. That's a great year. 280, 30, and 125.
Yeah, it felt like a lot of, I mean, those were big hits. Hits to win games, hits to put games away for the Phillies. He had just an incredible return to Philadelphia. Not only did he homer, he would hit a grand slam in that ball game, bringing the house down.
Yeah, got 2 curtain calls in Philadelphia as a visiting player.
Jose fires a fastball. The theme with Jose tonight has been fastballs, and ever since Dennis Martinez visited the booth and observed that he'd like Jose to throw more fastballs, it seems like he's done just that. 72 pitches in, he has punched out 8. Nobody out here. Kendrick's at first. And Utley takes away. All those left-handed hitters, Rizzo or a Dietrich or a Cano, guys that stand right up on the plate. Utley's kind of the godfather of this generation of guys that are up on the plate. That's a fastball, strike 3 called. Perfect pitch, has the corner, had the knees. And we have Geico. This date Marlins history, 2011. Marlins a club record 10 hits and a 9-run third. Petey and Logan Morrison. Brian Peterson had big games that night. Lash to left. Francoeur out there, and he makes the catch. Corey Seager hit it on the button. He's 0 for 3. And here comes Justin Turner.
Another quick strike, early attack from the Dodgers hitters. Jose got himself a quick out. Up to 75 pitches now. Still manageable. Can get himself a little bit deeper into this game with a few more quick outs.
Justin Turner's walked and struck out. Kendrick is still glued to first. And a slider for a strike. Remember, Turner had the contentious strike 3 call and a fastball that was just off the edge his last time up.
And this is what the effect of throwing all the fastballs early to Turner is now Justin Turner's reluctant to take as many pitches. It's like, okay, I get 1 strike now, I got to be happy. I think we got to note that Andrew Cashner's last time out, great job of establishing his fastball, being aggressive with his fastball, had a much better outing, earned himself his first Marlins win, and it really was establishing fastball strikes, being able to expand after he got ahead of the batters. It was a great night for him.
0-2. Did he go? Yes, he did. Turner goes down. And Jose Fernandez punches out 2 more. 10 strikeouts for Jose tonight in Miami. Marlins and Dodgers right now 2-0. Presenting sponsor of Miami Marlins baseball. Miami tonight, 2 runs, 5 hits for the Fish, no runs, 3 hits for the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw started, but remember, had a pitch count of around 70, and 3 innings is as far as he got. Miami did a nice job of chewing up the pitches in those first 3. Lewis Coleman pitched the 4th, went 1-2-3. And here's Bud Norris. Norris, one of the guys that the Dodgers acquired once Kershaw went down. Jose takes a breaking ball for a strike. Fernandez singled against Kershaw in the 2nd.
Wow, first pitch breaking ball to the pitcher.
Marlins saw Norris with the Braves. There's a tapper out towards short. And Seager will throw Fernandez out. And that's the first out here in the 5th. Bud Norris and Rich Hill, a couple of starters that the Dodgers acquired.
Oh, that's one of those stingers Jose got going down the line there. You hit the ball off the end of the bat, and you're not really gripping the bat as tightly, so you get that really strong vibration. Oh, yeah, that's it 100% right there. They do not feel good. Yeah, batting gloves don't help that.
D. Gordon now. Of course, Gordon, a Dodger up until 2015. And the Marlins traded for him. Miami would love to get him on base and get his running game in gear. And Norris misses away. So look, there's 2 things happening here to the Dodgers. Number 1 is they've got Kershaw pitching in a short start because they don't have a place for him to pitch in the minor leagues to continue his progression. But number 2, with September rosters, both the Dodgers and the Marlins can manage this type of game. When you've got 13 to 14 relief pitchers in your bullpen, and you've got 7 or 8 bench guys, it's not a problem. You got it covered.
And I think that's a side of the coin that we don't really talk about as much. We talk about all the extra pinch hitters and all the base runners and all that. Sometimes when you have a team that's like the Dodgers, who are pretty much assured a playoff spot unless there's some monumental collapse, where they're looking to win their division, they're 5 games up, they can actually spell some of their bullpen guys who may need that little extra rest because you have all those extra arms there.
Gordon, a ground ball in the hole. Seager, a long throw, and no way you're going to get D. Gordon there. And he's got himself an infield hit. With 1 out, we check in with Craig Minervini. Craig?
Well, Rich, you were talking about Clayton Kershaw coming back from injury. Marlins are getting some good news on the injury front, and in the order of the 3 guys coming back, Chen, Phelps, Conley, that is the order, and Chen is the closest right now. He's pitching very well. He had a sim game earlier this week. They liked the way it was coming out of his hand. He told me he felt the best he has all year in that sim game, back to sort of spring training. Now what's up next? Probably 1 more sim game is what he's saying, and then he feels he's ready to go. I asked him, does that mean ready as a starter? He said, well, I've been building up my pitch count through his interpreter to start. Now that's the ball club's decision, but went 50 pitches last time, and he told me he'd like to return as a starter. We'll see if that works out. Don Mattingly did say today that as for David Phelps, because he's not there yet, you either get him back a little sooner out of a relief role, or you take more time to build him up. So they'll have to make that decision. But that's good news for Chen. Hopefully he'll be back pretty soon.
Hey, Craig and Preston, that was the scene the other day, which was Chen throwing the simulated game. That's long for sim game. And you had Justin Bour hitting, you had Giancarlo Stanton hitting. And that's the way you get players up to speed, where if this were August or July, Justin Bour would have gone down and had a week's worth of at-bats in the minor leagues. Wei-Yin Chen would be down pitching for Jupiter. Clayton Kershaw, quite honestly, would probably make another start at Rancho Cucamonga. But teams don't have that luxury. Instructional league starts here in September, but that's not till later in the month.
Yeah, so everything that needs to be done has to be done in-house or with the Major League Ball Club.
Hottest hitter for the Fish, you're looking at him. JT Realmuto has hit in 9 straight, 15 hits in those 9 games, 3 home runs. And so Realmuto really having a breakout year when you look at it. His average well over 300. D's running, huge jump, no shot to get him, and Realmuto actually walks on ball 4 on the 3-0 pitch. But a good sign that Gordon was off and running.
There's a little conversation between Seager and D. Gordon out there on the field, and I think when Seager went in the hole to throw that ball, you kind of forgot how fast D. Gordon was, and you could see it on his face when he looked around. He was talking to Justin Turner. He was like, man, he's fast. And I see D there trying to get Justin Turner's attention.
South Florida Honda dealers get you ready for tomorrow night. Tom Kohler will be ready. Rich Hill, whose blister issue for now is behind him, will be pitching. And it's Al Leiter bobblehead night. Tonight we had El Presidente in the booth. Tomorrow night we'll have Al. Al Leiter will join us. Rich Waltz, Preston Wilson, and Craig Minervini tonight. And here's Martin Prado, who's 0 for 2. And Norris bounces one in the dirt. Norris kind of split his time between the bullpen and the rotation for the Braves before the Dodgers acquired him. Prado in the National League's top 10 in hitting, and very good with runners in scoring position. fastball for a strike. The undisputed leader of this ball club is Martin Prado. That went in the air to shallow center. Peterson. And he makes the catch. They'll bring up Christian Yelich. There is a lefty in the Dodgers bullpen. And this is September baseball. This is a manager already on his second reliever, going lefty-lefty matchup in the bottom of the 5th inning. Hey, Roberts takes the baseball. Bud Norris, we hardly knew ye. Kendall Toyota called to the pen.
Al Leiter comes home. Struck him out. The Marlins have their first no-hitter in history. Al Leiter.
That's tomorrow night's All-Star Saturday. First 10,000 fans get an Al Leiter bobblehead courtesy of Sunshine Gas. And the hair on that bobblehead is absolutely perfect. 1996 All-Star was Al Leiter for the Fish. Marlins.com for tickets. Budweiser bar out in center. J.P. Howell. Pickoff throw to first. Runner goes to third. Hello, D. Gordon. Nicely done. Howell trying to get Real Muto. And the Marlins get that 90 feet of real estate. Gordon didn't hesitate.
Yeah, that's one of the things when you try one of these trick plays, a backdoor pickoff play, you got to understand that an alert base runner should go. Because when you're a pitcher on the mound and you pick off the first base, you have to throw the ball. It's not like you can, at second base, you don't have to throw. You can just turn around, step off, hold it. When you pick off the first base, you must release the baseball, and every alert baseball player should take that base.
So Yelich hasn't seen a pitch. Now he's got runners at the corners. That right side is open with Gonzalez holding Real Muto. And Howell steps off.
Now that's one of the things that you like to do against a left-handed pitcher is somehow distract him. Just get enough down the line where maybe he can see you out the corner of his eye. You see how far Turner's playing off the line. You're not in danger of being picked off. So you can really take a chance and get down there and try to distract him. Hope to make a balk happen.
Yelich bunts third base side. Here comes D, and he beats it. Gordon scores. Gorgeous bunt. Yelich has great speed. Grandal's throw was late.
Wow. That's a clinic right there against a left-handed pitcher that's just coming to the ball game, trying to concentrate on getting outs. Look how far Justin Turner's playing off the line. Christian Yelich knows if I just get it far enough away from the catcher, I got myself a knock. And D. Gordon knows that catcher's got to commit because of how far Justin Turner is off that line. So I'm going to score on this ball easily. Everybody got caught with their hand in the cookie jar, and the Marlins we're enjoying a 3-0 lead right now.
And of course, the stolen base by Gordon on the pickoff throw to first sets it all in motion. D gets around the plate and scores. And guess what? How about a pitching change? J.P. Howell exits. Kendall Toyota called to the pen. He knows Hal was his teammate for a long time. And as soon as he saw him go to first to get Real Muto, D was on his way to third.
Well, every base stealer learns keys off certain pitchers. That's how you understand when you're going and when you're going to make that break. And he knows Jay Howell. You could see him doing that really exaggerated lean back motion. Some pitchers do something totally different when they're throwing the first as opposed to when they're going home. And I think D had something on him and was ready that time.
Ozuna against the right-hander Josh Fields, who came over from the Astros, another guy that the Dodgers acquired as they've stockpiled a lot of bodies. As we noted, 35 dressed for this game.
Well, this has got to be a reset at bat for Ozuna. The first at bat against Kershaw, he took pitches and just allowed himself to, just take 3 strikes. The second time up, he swung himself out of an at bat, swung at least 2 of those pitches that he swung at were balls up and out of the zone. Now it's time to, hey, look, Kershaw's not on the mound. Get that out of your head. Get back to see ball, hit ball. And he's worked himself into a favorable count right here, 2-0.
Here's a 2-0. It's way out.
Yeah, sometimes when you're a young player in your first few years and you face that A1 highlight guy that you've always seen, sometimes you get a little anxious and you don't trust what you see. And that's what I saw in Ozuna's first at bats. It was like he was guessing, trying to figure out what he was going to be thrown instead of seeing what was being thrown. That's the only explanation when you take strikes and swing at balls the way he did in the first 2 at bats.
3-0 pitch coming from Fields. That's breaking ball and a strike.
And that's fine. There's nothing wrong. Who cares about a 3-0 break? You don't want to hit that. Ozuna's shocked that he got a 3-0 breaking ball, but you know what? So what? You didn't swing at it. You didn't have to. If he wants to go up there and throw 3-0 breaking balls, that's on him.
Barry Bonds, who's done such a nice job with Ozuna this year, trying to get him back to that patient hitter that he was in the first half. There's some patience. Of course, the result of that was he ended up starting in center field for the National League All-Star team because of an injury. Named to his first All-Star team.
Right, so I mean, that at bat shows me that Josh Fields wanted absolutely no part of Ozuna. Either that or he just thought he was going to swing himself out of the at bat. We saw a 3-0 and 3-1 curveball. Either he's really saying, I want to face Francoeur and I didn't want any part of Ozuna, or he's not feeling very good about his fastball. But now look who you got on deck here.
Yeah, or he thought to himself, you know, if I walk him, I might see Ichiro, and here he is. Ichiro's going to pinch hit here. And we talked about it earlier. The Marlins lineup was set for Kershaw, but he only went 3. And as you noted, you want to keep the lefty bats strategically when you need them. And this is a spot where Don Mattingly says Ichiro can hit here, lefty against righty, and then go in and play left. And that's where Francoeur's been playing.
Well, the Dodgers are kind of locked into Fields right now because there's no action in the bullpen. So Don Mattingly has a great situation to ensure that Ichiro is going to get a right-handed pitcher to hit against.
Ichiro takes breaking ball for a strike. Four grand slams in his career. Good homestand. Pitch hit homer, the first of his career. A triple. He scored 3 runs and knocked in 3. He's 2 behind Lou Brock for 25th all time. 3,021. Going after the fastball. And it's 1-2.
See the gun hit 95 right there, Rich. That really makes you wonder why guys up there throwing 3-1 and 3-0 curveballs when you can throw 95.
Let's see what Ichiro gets here. He gets hit, and the Marlins have another run. Ichiro is on his way to first. It also got the home plate umpire Brian Knight, who went down to a knee. Real Muto scores. It's 4-0. The ball first hit Ichiro, and then it caromed off of Knight.
You know, it's fun. Oh, that's off the shoulder and then got Brian Knight right on the chin. Yeah, that's like taking a stiff jab to the chin right there, because you don't see that coming. You know that ball is going inside and you don't recognize that deflection. You can see the jawline right there. Brian Fields took a pretty good shot. Looks like he's handing over his lineup card. He's going in concussion protocol.
Yeah, it looks like Brian Knight's coming out of this ball game.
Yeah, he handed over his card to the other umpire. When that happens, there's an adjustment to be made right now.
And that means of the 3 umpires left, one will have to go in. This is going to be about a 7 to 10 minute delay, because you have to go inside and pull out your home plate gear, and the shin guards, the chest protector, those go under everything, the umpire uniform. So this is going to be about a 7 to 10 minute delay here. The Marlins have their 4th run. Fields walks towards the dugout. Bags are still going to be loaded. Now it's a Chris Johnson at bat. Here's the rub to it. The Marlins are thinking about Justin Bour coming out, but I don't think they've announced him yet.
Right.
If they announced him now, the Dodgers could get a lefty up in the time it takes for the umpire to come back.
Right, and there's a protocol. Umpires do prepare for this eventuality where if they have to work with a 3-man crew, they understand the positioning is changed, and there's a different alignment. So they are prepared for this. It does happen occasionally.
And let's take a break. But I think what's going on here is the Marlins had Bour jump back into the dugout. I don't think they want to show that. And they want Bour to hit possibly with the bags loaded. We'll take a timeout. 4-0 Miami. Continuing our theme of an Old West showdown here. Jose versus Kershaw in Miami. It's 4-0 Marlins. Rich Waltz along with Preston Wilson. Jose has been spectacular, 10 strikeouts. The Dodgers are already 4 relievers deep after a 3-inning start from Kershaw.
This is September baseball. All the call-ups, the expanded rosters, you start seeing this influx of additional pitching moves that you don't normally see. And tonight, it's been, I think, Dave Roberts is wearing out a path back and forth to the pitcher's mound.
Yeah, and this note, as we went to break, we speculated the Dodgers might want to get a lefty up for Bohr, and that's going on right now. So this is working to the Dodgers' advantage. This break, the umpire getting injured. Home plate umpire Brian Knight took that pitch that hit Ichiro first and then hit him. So Avilan, the lefty, is up. And we'll see if it's Bohr against Avilan with the bags loaded. Let's talk Jose Fernandez. Great to have El Presidente in here, and his prescription for Jose, use that fastball, young man.
Awesome. Great pearls of wisdom from one of the best of all time. And you see earlier with the strikeout, but then the fastball started coming into play, got toes off the plate. Good fastball there, locked up Seager. And that was a theme all night. Fastball, Justin Turner took it. He thought it was away, but no. Same thing right here to Egon El Taitan. Had to swing at the fastball up and away. Jock Peterson, he got a little dose of the breaking ball. And Tolles, well, just not a good night for you, buddy.
10 strikeouts for Jose. And, of course, he's only gone 5 innings so far. In our Buick big matchup. Jose is at 78 pitches, so the Marlins conceivably could get at least 2 more innings off of Jose. For the Dodgers and Kershaw, they knew this would be a short start. They didn't think it would be just 3 innings.
No, I don't think you thought that Kershaw, with his ability to throw strikes and get out, was going to only throw 3 innings and reach the pitch count that he did. But I think they are thrilled that he was able to go out there, and he looked like he was relatively pain-free. I didn't see any discomfort. He had a few plays where he had to bounce off the mound, made some off-balance throws, and he looked pretty good through all that. The telltale sign will be how he looks in the day or two following, how that recovery period is.
Preston, for the Marlins this year, they've had a penchant for playing up to their competition. So in a series like this, a first-place Dodgers team, Jose on the mound, it's probably not a surprise that, hey, the Marlins have come out, played well. They just executed their speed game quite well to get run number 4. And Don Mattingly, the Fish, in a kind of a do-or-die series here against the Dodgers, are up 4-0. Here's your standings. First in the West, the Dodgers a 5-game lead over the Giants. And in that wild card, the Marlins are 5 back of not the Cardinals anymore, but the New York Metropolitans, who now hold that second wild card spot. The Mets, by the way, are trailing Atlanta 2-0 in the bottom of the 5th in Atlanta. All right, there's Justin Bour. The only question, and we don't know the answer to this, was he announced before the umpires? I don't think he would be, because I don't know that Don Mattingly could get to the plate with Knight being injured to actually make that change.
It looked like he just popped out, and I think it was more or less the Dodgers saw it, not the fact that he was announced.
And Bill Miller, who is the crew chief, has the gear on. This is Brian Knight. It hits Ichiro, and then Knight right in that vulnerable spot, the collarbone throat area. He does have one of those throat guards on. That made a lot of contact.
Yeah, but that's like a sucker punch. You don't expect that ball to come back that way, and you see it just caught him right on the jawline, right at the edge of the mask. And you know, there aren't very many men that are going to be able to take that punch and stay on their feet.
All right, now the wheels are really turning in both dugouts. Fields is back out, the right-hander. You saw Avilan, the lefty, is ready in the pen, and the injury tonight has allowed him to loosen up. On deck is Derek Dietrich. So the Marlins, at first, we're going to pull the trigger on Justin Bour. Now it's Dietrich, and Dave Roberts is looking across the diamond. Is he going to go to the lefty to face Dietrich? And Dietrich's probably better suited to face a lefty than Bour is right now.
But I'll tell you what's really happening right here. Mattingly knew that there was a chance that Roberts may change pitchers, and he would rather burn Dietrich than burn Justin Bour, just in case they do bring in a lefty. And I think you're right. Dietrich is better suited to face him, but you want to keep that home run potential on the bench and not have a situation where you could get burned without having a chance for him to swing the bat and him out of the game.
Bour is just off the disabled list. He hasn't faced a lefty in live action in about 2 months. So it's a Kendall Toyota call to the pen. Giancarlo Stanton. So Derek Dietrich announced, the lefty brought in. Don Mattingly Pulls Dietrich, and here is Stanton with the bags loaded and 2 outs. This is the 4th different pitcher in the last 5 hitters here in the 5th inning. And Stanton can't check his swing. He goes around. And Avilan, the changeup there. His numbers, an ERA of about 5.5. Stanton's had 2 pinch hitting appearances, a line drive single and a strikeout. Stanton not shy. He fired at that 0-1 pitch. And Grandal took the brunt of that.
It's another change up here that's up in the zone. Stanton sees it well, but that's, if he hits that, that's right off the end of the bat. Nothing good's going to happen there. Now he's got to try to find himself to work the ball back on the plate. And it's scramble mode now. You got 2 strikes. Got to fight off anything close and hope for that mistake.
Right side is wide open. Avilan's 0-2. Change up way out. Grandal was set way out.
I was going to say Grandal was sitting in the dugout, and Yelich, keep your eye on the catcher right there. That's when it was, sometimes you got a catcher who's throwing the ball back. Make sure you don't concede ground, especially when the third baseman is playing back at the grass like that. You can get that lead down there.
3 changeups, all just off the plate. Came in with a fastball. Stanton fouls it. We'll see if that sets up the next changeup.
You know, I know part of the equation is you got Giancarlo Stanton hitting, and you don't want to get, you know, bow tied by one of his foul balls down the line, but it's still something as a base runner you need to be alert when the ball leaves the pitcher's hand, and especially when the catcher's throwing it back, be aware of that overthrow. So once the ball is past Stanton, make sure you get a good look down there. You never know.
Yelich, Ozuna, and Ichiro, bags loaded. 1-2 to Stanton. That changeup, he just keeps throwing it further and further out. Stanton leaning over the plate. Look at all 4 changeups, and the 1 pitch, pitch number 4, was a fastball.
Well, that's where you have to really make sure you're controlling your body, controlling your head as a hitter. There's an old saying: look out there, don't go out there. Don't lean out there with your body because you're going to tend to chase it. You can look out there, but don't take your head and your body out there.
2-2. Got him, and it was the changeup, and he was leaning out there. So Stanton chased it. Avilan finishes the inning, but Miami has a 4-0 lead. Long bottom of the 5th, almost half an hour. And so how does Jose Fernandez react? Ichiro's out in left field, and of course the Marlins needed someone to play first base when Dietrich / Stanton pinch hit for Johnson, and that is Rojas. So both teams are using these expanded rosters. to navigate the waters. And this is middle of the game. This isn't 8th or 9th inning. Preston Wilson, what are the signs to watch for Jose after this long layoff?
Rhythm and command. That's really what it is, because even though there was a 20-something minute layoff, he was in there tossing, because they do have batting cages in there. He can in there play catch, keep his arm loose. But it's really, is the rhythm still the same on the mound? And is he able to be in the strike zone like he was before?
Juan Nieves, Tim Wallach watching. Gonzalez, something in his eye. It counts 1-1.
Oh, the old something's in my eye trick, Rich. I'm just joking.
Gonzalez rifles one to right. Ozuna's there, and he makes the catch on the track. So well hit. ACC football tomorrow. Preston Wilson, Heisman hopeful Dalvin Cook, and the Seminoles. Start your chopping now, kids. Charleston Southern and Florida State. 12:30 on Fox Sports Florida. Yasmani Grandal. It's been a while since we talked about Jose's night in terms of walks and strikeouts and what he's done against the Dodgers. In 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 3 walks. And this was vintage Jose from the start. He came out blowing heat. The Dodgers actually put 2 runners on in the first and the second. But since then, only the Reddick double has made any noise. And that was in the 4th.
And I would like to see him continue that aggression. He's got a 4-run lead. Nobody on. Don't get so heavily reliant on that slider. Something like that, Rich.
High fastball, strikeout number 11.
Yeah, it's one of those amazing things in baseball. Sometimes guys forget that 97 can be missed. You know, you get so enamored with the strikeout, and you know he has one of the highest swing and miss rates on his slider of any pitcher in baseball. And I think you get enamored with that, but you forget that you throw 97 and guys can miss that easily.
Josh Reddick. Reddick has had the best at bats against Jose. Singled and doubled. Changeup misses away at 90 miles an hour. So 11 punch outs for Fernandez. And 87 pitches. 1, 2, 3, 6 probably buys him the 7th inning. He's quickly out front of the former Oakland Athletic, Josh Reddick. It's 1-2. Soft pop, shallow left. Ichiro in, has it. That's 1, 2, 3. That should buy him the 7th. Jose Fernandez in command, in control. 4-0 Miami. top. Jose Fernandez on deck when he came in the dugout, finishing the 6th. The last thing he wanted to see was Don Mattingly. And Don Mattingly knew that. It's a little pat on the back. Jose's due up second. Echeverria, Fernandez, and then D. Gordon against Luis Avilan. So the Dodgers are on relief pitcher number 5. On the night where Clayton Kershaw went just 3. And of course, the 5 relievers have navigated just 2 innings.
It's amazing what September baseball does with these expanded rosters, and I've said it before, Rich, you've said it. This has got to end. It's not good for baseball. It's not good for the fans to have to sit through a game. I mean, I understand we had the break because of the umpire injury, but it's 9:20 right now, and we're looking at 6 innings, not even being completed yet.
There's a little more pressure on Bob Guerin, the bench coach, and Tim Wallach on the other side to handle the lineup card and make sure that the manager knows who's available, who's not, because everything just got a lot longer.
And there are some solutions to this situation that don't stop teams from bringing guys up.
Here's the 2-2. Echeverria into right field. That's a base hit.
One would be, hey, baseball can say, bring as many guys up as you want, but you can only have so many active or set roster for a series or for a game. That's watching the ball a little bit too long and not quite getting your strides out. It's almost like he was running uphill and didn't know it. Stride get cut a little short.
All right, that sets up Jose in a bunt situation. Drops it down first base side. Jose running hard. Throw to first is in time. And he is out. Avilan makes the play. It's a sacrifice. Gordon up with Echeverria at second. Midsummer Classic is coming to Miami in 2017 due to limited availability. Only Marlin Fish family season ticket holders at this time are guaranteed access to get All-Star Week ticket strips. Learn more, visit marlins.com/ASG.
That's one of those situations when your pitcher does that sack bunt and it's in the 6th inning. You almost want your guy on deck to make the umpire make you come to the plate, just to make sure pitcher has time to get back and sit down, not rush him at all. Let him catch his breath.
Gordon trying to bunt, pops it foul up over the screen. It was Gordon's infield hit in the 5th, and then his subsequent steal of 3rd that helped the Marlins produce a couple runs in the 5th. Christian Yelich, a gorgeous bunt hit that knocked in a run, and then Ichiro getting plunked by a fastball from Josh Fields. Ball and a strike. Getting you up to speed on other teams and what they're up to. Teams involved in the wild card. The Mets are losing 4-2 to Atlanta. It's good news for the Marlins. Cardinals are winning 4-3 over Milwaukee. It's bottom 4. Gordon, a bouncer out towards short. And Seager gets the out quickly.
He got rid of that ball in a hurry, too. There was no wasted motion. He knows D. Gordon beat him to the backhand last time.
Fox Sports is proud to team up with The Mission Continues as we commemorate the 15th anniversary of the events of 9/11. The Mission Continues is bringing together veterans and civilians through local service projects. It gives back to local communities. Visit foxsportsupports.com to learn more. Real Muto homered in the first off of Kershaw. That really set the tone for the game. He got a cutter and blasted it out to left. Was flied out and walked. Now has a 9-game hit streak. Echeverria is 90 feet away. Two and one. Really a fine year for Real Muto. Last year, getting the everyday duties for 5 of the 6 months. Really a year ahead of schedule. But for any catcher to have the offense that he's had, 28 doubles, 10 homers. Batting average for Real Muto at .313, .354 on base. You get a sense that the ceiling on him is even higher. End of the bat, trickles out to the mound. Avilan on to first to get the outs. Marlins strand that runner. Jose's back out for the top of the 7th. Of September, 1 o'clock start. The Marlins will recognize his milestone with a commemorative bat offer. If you purchase a special event ticket, you'll get one of 3,000 limited edition full-sized Mizuno bats. And you can see those Mizuno bats being made right there. For terms and conditions, visit marlins.com/Ichiro. Once they're cut, you would expect they'll be dipped in the black paint. The Ichiro model on the 25th of September. Here tonight, Jose Fernandez has 18 outs, 11 by strikeout. I think a lot of people across the country as Peterson swings and fouls it at the plate. A lot of people across the country tuned in to see Clayton Kershaw come back, and rightfully so. Kershaw, when he left 2 months ago, was having statistically one of the great seasons in all of baseball, in all of baseball history. But here, after a minor league rehab start, 66 pitches, Marlins got him for 2 runs in 3 innings. What they have seen, though, is Jose Fernandez at his finest. 6 innings of shutout ball and 11 strikeouts. 11 of his 18 outs strikeouts.
And he's done it with aggression. He hasn't done it by trying to throw everyone 4 or 5 sliders in at bat. He's done it by getting ahead, 0-2 count right here, and then being able to finish him off with an expanded fastball or with a nasty slider like that, but mostly with the fastball.
It's a great point. The slider has come into play, but it feels like with 2 strikes it's come into play.
And that's when it should come into play for him. He's got velocity and movement. He can throw his fastball early in the count, get swings and misses, get called strikes, and then go to that slider. You know, I don't like seeing those at bats where I'm seeing the 3-1 slider from Jose. And now he's mixing in the 3rd time through. Now he's mixing in the changeup. So that's another weapon that he's got to throw those lefties.
Career high in strikeouts is 14. He's done it 4 times, including twice this season. Little roller up first, and it bounces wide of the bag. Rojas picks it up. Oh, and 2. Dodgers have a deep bench, deep in number and in talent. Yasiel Puig is on deck. Dodgers bullpen, Josh Raven. Toles hits a high pop-up. Rojas and Gordon. It's into the seats. Whoa!
Oh.
Get that ball, kids.
Got it.
Yeah, that's hustle.
Oh. Dad's a hero now. Love it.
I almost had it, Dad. I almost had it. Dad's going to need another one for the to keep the peace on the ride home. 2-2 to Andrew Toles. Foul tip. That's a strikeout. So 13 strikeouts for Jose. He's 1 shy of his career high.
Toles just wants Jose Fernandez to be somewhere else right now, because this current arrangement is not working for him. That's 3 strikeouts, and they have not been pretty.
Yasiel Puig gets the at-bat here in the 7th with nobody on and 2 outs. Dodgers weren't happy with Puig in his actions both on the field and off. They sent him down to the minor leagues. Puig promptly Snapchatted and periscoped his minor league experience to many. And he's back in the big leagues. The Dodgers feel that he's a better citizen, at least at this point. Obviously, time will tell. When he got to the box, a pair of Cubans meeting here in Little Havana. And it's heat from Jose at 97. The dialogue between the two continues.
Well, these are 2 extremely confident baseball players facing off against each other. But the way Jose's throwing tonight, this is going to end in Jose's favor. That's for sure.
1-2. Fastball, got strikeouts, 7 shutout innings. Jose Fernandez in this house is unbelievable. Abuela loves it, and she should. Jose wants more. 4-0. How about Jose Fernandez against Clayton Kershaw? First, the Jose portion. Strikes, lots of them. Fastballs, lots of them. Strikeouts, 14 of them. Now to the Kershaw portion. JT Realmuto, cutter, and gone. First inning home run. Marlins up 1-0. Second inning line drive. Utley couldn't get it. Francoeur, who had doubled, scores 2-0. Fifth inning. Yelich with Gordon at third, little bunt. That would be a run. 3-0. Bags loaded, pinch hitter, ouch. Ichiro hit, umpire hit. Realmuto scores, and that's how the Marlins have arrived at 4-0. The fifth inning, 36 minutes. Now, the home plate umpire, Brian Knight, was hurt. There was about a 7 to 8 minute delay while they replaced umpires, but the Dodgers have gone deep, and I mean way deep, in their bullpen. It's a 3-man crew out there right now. Bill Miller behind the plate, Tony Randazzo, Tom Woodring on the bases. Martin Prado fouls it out of play. Oh yeah, the Dodgers have another new pitcher. That's so Raven. Josh Raven. Coleman, Norris, Howell, Fields, Avilan, and now Raven. And that's after Kershaw went the first 3. Cal Bearclaw in Miami's pen. And it looks like Jose is done. 7 innings, 14 punch-outs. Prado with Yelich behind him. Ozuna after that. Hard on the ground, Seager. And there's one out here in the 7th inning.
Hard hit right on the nose. Seager, he's just such an impressive young player. We've seen him make some good plays tonight, but at the plate, he's been so good.
And he's getting better defensively. 6'4", 215, and he's just 22.
Yeah, he may be one of those guys that it's going to be hard for him to stay at shortstop, just because, you know, he's going to gain another 10 to 20 pounds throughout his career just by, you know, growing up, filling out a little bit.
Because he plays a premium position, does that help him in the MVP conversation?
Well, I think anytime your position is that impactful, it's going to help you. I think it should help you. I don't think it should be based on just offense alone.
So if you looked at your National League MVP candidates. Anthony Rizzo is a popular name. Chris Bryant is a popular name. Nolan Arenado has had a big year. Even Daniel Murphy.
Chris Bryant is the one that's really unique to me because he plays 3 or 4 positions. We've seen him play third base, first base, left field.
Yelich has to dance out of the way. It's 2-1.
Seems to be proficient at all of them. And with the home runs and the runs batted in, he's got to be up there at the top of the list or right near it. But this kid, Seager, playing shortstop, impact position, with the numbers he's put up.
Pitch is out. Yelich has a couple hits, and neither has left the infield. First on a ground ball in the third, and then you saw that bunt that he dropped down with Gordon at third base. And he picked up an RBI on that play. You know, Christian Yelich has got 87 runs driven in. He has a shot, if he finishes with a flurry, to drive in 100 runs.
Yes.
He has a shot to finish with 40 doubles. He has a shot to finish with 20 homers. And you would think the experience of hitting in the cleanup spot will help him moving forward.
Well, when it puts you into focus or makes you the focal point of the lineup as far as being in a key run production spot, you learn a lot. You learn a lot about yourself. You learn a lot about how pitchers are going to pitch you. I think fortunately for Christian Yelich, he has some experience around him with Barry Bonds on the bench, Lenny Harris over there. I think he has a lot of tools to help him grow and learn at an accelerated rate for a young player. I mean, and he's got the ability as well. It's not all just those guys, it's his ability added with that.
Yelich shoots that down the third base line. It's into the seats.
Ichiro, he's got a lot of good guys that he can compare himself to as far as being a left-handed hitter and in understanding the situations, because all those guys have been everywhere he's trying to go.
Busted bat, and that one's going to end up in the glove of Seager. And so Ravens got a couple of outs. And here comes Marcell Ozuna. All right, updating some games of note for the Fish. Teams that are ahead of the Marlins in the wild card. The Mets are in that number 2 wild card spot, and they're losing to Atlanta 4-2, top 7. The Cardinals are a half game behind the Mets. They're beating Milwaukee 4-3, bottom 5. The Giants are the number 1 team in that wild card spot. They've just opened their game in Arizona against the Diamondbacks. And the Pirates are trailing 3-2 to the Reds. The Pirates, just like the Marlins, have fallen upon hard times in terms of wins and losses. Both the Fish and the Buccos have dropped 8 of their last 10. Pirates are at an even 500, 69-69. There you go. The Rockies would like to be included in the conversation. That's the importance of Miami winning this series against the Dodgers. And that is get a foothold, stop the slide, win a series, move forward.
Yeah, see something positive, make up some positive ground. I think you're exactly right, Rich.
One-two to Ozuna. And Raven with a fastball strikes him out. 1-2-3 go the Fish in the 7th. Kyle Bearclaw, the Marlins pen now, trying to bring this one home. Two large games, one large man, Big Papi, and the Red Sox battle Josh Donaldson. The Blue Jays. We talked about Chris Bryant. Cubs, Astros. Tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern on Fox. Watch it live on Fox Sports Go. South Beach on a Friday night. Something's always happening in South Beach on Friday nights. Kyle Bearclaw. Now the Marlins will try to shut down the Dodgers the rest of the way. Bearclaw, and then you would think Rodney or Ramos in the ninth. For Jose Fernandez, a terrific night, 7 innings. The Dodgers with just 3 hits and no runs. Jose trying to run his record to 28-2 here.
He has been tremendous in this stadium. Very impressed with how often and how well he threw his fastball tonight.
Bearclaw against Utley. Utley's 0 for 3. Top of the Dodger order has been very quiet. Just a Justin Turner walk among the first 3 hitters. Utley. Bearclaw gets it and gets the outs. Now you've got Corey Seager. Tom Kohler, remember Kohler, the 6 scoreless innings in Cleveland on Sunday. And so he'll try to duplicate that tomorrow against the Dodgers tomorrow night. Rich Hill, the lefty, who's been very good when he's healthy, goes for the Dodgers. Hill 11-3, a 1.94 ERA. Kohler 9-10, but his ERA under 4 now at 3.87. Sunday 1 o'clock. Jose Urena, Kenta Maeda, the Japanese star. Seager to right center field. That falls for a hit. Yelich cuts it off. And a big turn by Seager. Will settle for a hit. Justin Turner comes to the plate.
Good aggressive base running there by Seager, making sure that outfielder doesn't take for granted that he's just going to check in there at first base. If you take your time or just lob that in, he's going to go to second on you. He proved that with that route attempt right there at first base.
That Boston-Toronto series that we're talking about with the game tomorrow on Fox started tonight in Toronto, and Boston's hammering the Blue Jays 11-2. Turner pops it up, and that's out of play. Boston has 11 runs on 16 hits in Toronto. That's a 1-game lead for the Red Sox going into play tonight. And if the Blue Jays lose it, they'll have lost 4 straight. Baltimore lurking 2 back of Boston.
Well, there aren't many offenses in baseball like that Boston lineup. They have some unbelievable talent up in the lineup. Mookie Betts, Xander Bogaerts, Big Papi.
Bearclaw with the slider for a strike. It's 0-2 to the former Cal State Fullerton Titan. The redhead Justin Turner.
Jackie Bradley Jr. I mean, just that offense, Hanley, Ramirez, that offense is nonstop. It's every night.
Well, tonight it's nonstop. I mean, Dustin Pedroia's knocked in 4. He's 3 for 4. Bogarts has homered. Hanley has homered. And that's a great place to hit. The Rogers Center or Skydome.
Yes, it is.
0-2. Turner goes down. Bear claw. You know, with the slider he throws, you have to hang in there. And this one got really close. Well, not really close. Let's go down to Craig Minervini, who's with Jose Fernandez. Craig?
Well, thank you, Rich. He was looking forward to this. He told us going against Clayton Kershaw and the Dodgers in a big game, and you look like you brought your A game tonight, there, Jose.
You know, you know, obviously they're a big team. They have, you know, they have their ace on the mound, and you know, obviously, I think at this point of the year, we're trying to win every game, and no matter what, you know, we're so close in the race, and you know, we want to do such a good things here in Miami for the fans and for the city and for us, because you know, we spend a lot of time together, and we feel like we can do something great this year.
You threw 100 in the first inning. Were you concerned you'd be too amped up in a game like this?
No. You know, that's when the work that you do and the other work that you put in the off season and during the season, you know, that you believe in yourself, that you know, in those games and these moments like this, you know, you can show up and you know, you can bring all you got, and you know, that's what I felt like tonight.
You got some big outs. I think one of them was when you were 3-0 down on Gonzalez. You came back, struck him out. You had 14 strikeouts. Use your fastball quite a bit. Talk about your pitch use tonight.
You know, obviously, you know, the game before this one, it didn't went well for us. We didn't execute pitches. And, you know, we noticed a lot of different things that the league is adjusting to us and doing to us. Obviously, this is a game of adjustments, and that's what we try to do every game. But you know, I think that we accomplished that today, and looking forward for, you know, to finish up the game and you know, have some, you know, come back tomorrow and do the same.
Got a hit off Kershaw. That was nice.
Yeah, I don't know how I hit it, honestly. I threw the bat out there, and the ball hit the bat. The bat didn't hit the ball, so I don't know how that happened.
And you got Puig to finish it off on a nice nice finish for you.
He was, you know, it's you know, that's. I honestly didn't look at him. I only looked at him when he came into the box, because he was talking to me the whole game. And when every time that I came with a bat, he would tell me things, and I would say, okay. And it was, you know, it's just fun, man. That's the part of the game that I love, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody or disrespect the game or disrespect anybody. It's just fun. It's just fun for me. That's the way that I learned how to play, and with him, I kind of know that I can take it a little farther, because that's it. He did. There was somebody that told me that he blew me a kiss, but I did not see. But I think it's just part of it. I don't get mad. You know, if he would have got me, I'd tip my hat, and that's just, you know, part of the game. But
fair either way with emotion. Thanks a lot, Jose. Great job tonight.
Thank you.
Ties a career high 14 strikeouts, guys.
All right, thank you, Craig. What a play by Martin Prado to finish things off. Thank you to Jose Fernandez for that visit. 4-0 Fish. Fish hit lefties well. Tom Kohler hit shutout ball against the Indians his last time out. Penn couldn't hold that lead. Kohler gets the baseball for Miami as the Marlins and the Dodgers play game 2 on a Saturday night in Miami. 4-0. Fish on top. Jose Fernandez splendid in a scoreless inning for Kyle Barraclough. Ichiro, his second at bat. Adam Liberatore is the 23rd pitcher used, or so it seems, by the Dodgers tonight. And Ichiro pulls it foul. Clayton Kershaw started and he went 3 innings. So handling the 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Lewis Coleman, Bud Norris, J.P. Howell, Josh Fields, Luis Avilan. Also appearing, Josh Raven, and now Adam Liberatore. Pitches out to Ichiro. Fernando Rodney in Miami's pen. Miguel Rojas is on deck. And then you've got Echeverria. Ichiro pulls it at the plate. So the other night for Ichiro, his very first pinch hit home run. How many times do you think Ichiro's been hit by a pitch with the bases loaded in his career?
That's a good question.
That's our baseball historian John Chimchuk's.
Oh, we got him on the clock, Rich.
Sweet spots. Ichiro got jams. And he bloops it out to second. Utley squeezes it. All right, you got 3 weeks left in the season. And if you're following the Marlins, if you're following the Dodgers, if you're following baseball, MLB.TV Premium will get you all the games in HD. It's the #1 live streaming sports service available. And you get a pretty good deal here in the month of September. Blackout and other restrictions apply. MLB.TV for details. Rojas left field, tolls at the track, makes the catch. And Adam Liberatore has 2 outs in the 8th. How's Larry King enjoying the show tonight? Larry King in the audience. Guy, of course, a great history of radio in Miami. And whenever we go to Los Angeles, we see him all dressed up in Dodger blue. Echeverria now pitches in. Sometimes you have just an inkling and it doesn't pan out, but as it turns out, that's the first time in his long career Ichiro's ever been hit by a pitch with the bags loaded.
So we've seen 2 firsts in Ichiro's career in the last couple games he's played.
Right. To right, Reddick backing up. Makes the catch. Liberatore goes 1, 2, 3. Marlins try to shut the door with Rodney in the 9th. Sports Florida is brought to you by Southwest. Transparency, low fares, nothing to hide. By Ram, right now get a great deal during Ram Truck Month. And by your South Florida Honda dealers. Four nothing. Marlins on top. Fernando Rodney in the ninth in the Magic City tonight. Jose Fernandez, Clayton Kershaw battle when it started. Kershaw lasted 3. Jose went 7 and punched out a career high 14. I should say he equaled his career high. It's the 5th time he's done it, the 3rd time he's done it this year. And Rodney obviously would like to tighten things up. Rodney worked a scoreless inning in a 6-2 loss to the Phillies on Tuesday night. Once you go back to that Sunday game in Cleveland, gave up 3 runs on 2/3 of an inning. Looking for better results here. Yasmani Grandal came in hot, and he has struck out 3 times. Now the Dodgers are very much aware of Rodney. They faced him a lot in the first half when he was in San Diego. You got Reddick and Peterson to follow. Count 2-1. It's 2-2. We hope that Brian Knight is feeling better. Home plate umpire took a deflected pitch off the throat or collarbone area. Grandal gets into one and drives it deep to right field. Way out of here. And the Dodgers are on the board, and Fernando Rodney gives up the 25th homer of the season. Or the pride of Miami, Yasmani Grandal.
This is just bad location. Threw a good changeup early in the at-bat, and this is a fastball that Grandal just unloads on. Just bad location. Remember when I said anytime you see a catcher extend that arm, that means the location's changing. He's reaching back towards the middle of the plate, and that's a bad.
Ball in the outfield. Someone threw that home run back.
Well, when you hit a no-doubter to that part of the ballpark in this stadium, it's well hit.
Josh Reddick was having a nice year with Oakland. 296 average, slugging .449, on base at .368. But it hasn't been until this last week that he has started to get hot as a Dodger. Reddick has 2 hits in this ball game, and now has hit in 7 straight. Reddick is a guy that really discovered himself as an Oakland Athletic. Hayes gave him a chance to play, and he really took advantage of it. Up the middle by a diving Gordon. Now Reddick is aboard. And so Fernando Rodney has given up a homer, now a single. And the thing about this Dodger ball club is there are guys up and down the lineup that can hurt you. Jock Peterson is one of those guys, and here he comes. We'll see if Miami's bullpen has somebody pop up and start throwing. Rodney steps off. And Peterson climbs back in. Now A.J. Ramos up. Change up for a strike. You heard Craig's report earlier in the night about Marlin pitchers and trying to get back. And the thing that Don Mattingly noted about David Phelps is if the Marlins were to use him as a reliever, they could get him back sooner. In the air, Prado into the seats. So if Miami felt that Phelps could help the back end of the bullpen, it would be a shorter rehab and a quicker arrival back into major league games than if they wanted to ramp him up and throw him back in the starting rotation.
In my opinion right now, any David Phelps is better than no David Phelps. As well as he's pitched this year in any role that we've seen him in, I want him back somehow. And if you got to get him back in the bullpen at the beginning, so be it.
Peterson steps out. Marlins are not holding Reddick at first. And Reddick will run. He's swiped 6 bases. You certainly don't want him to just go to second unchecked. Rojas trying to keep him close. Wow. That line drive for Peterson whistled by George Lombard, the first base coach.
Old buddy down there, George. We've hung out together, good friends. Him and his wife Judy, great people.
And that's why base coaches wear those helmets. End of the bat, little flip down the left field line, and it's foul. And of course that goes back to the tragic death of Mike Coolbaugh, who was the base coach in the Rangers organization, I believe, and was hit by a line drive and was killed.
Yeah,
it was probably 6, 7, maybe 8 years ago.
I played against Coolbaugh in the minor leagues coming up.
Yeah, his older brother Scott Coolbaugh got to the big leagues and had some pretty good seasons. But ever since then, base coaches at every level wear helmets. Ground ball into right field. That's a base hit. Charging is Ozuna. Holding is Reddick. Now what do you do if you're Don Mattingly? Your closer has given up a homer and 2 solid singles.
Well, this is, in my opinion, this is not the time for hurt feelings. If you got to go get him, you go get him right now. It's a 3-run lead. You got 2 men on. The game can be tied with 1 swing. I mean, if you're not getting the job done, you're not getting the job done. This is trying to get into the playoffs. This is not about holding anyone's hand. They're worried about what thought may be going on in someone's head right now. It's about winning baseball games. And if Ramos is up and ready, then you go get him.
And here comes Don Mattingly. He is coming to get Fernando Rodney. And so for Rodney, trying to find that magic that saw him named an all-star and have that very good first half in San Diego. And Don Mattingly's going to ask for the ball. He gave Ramos a few extra pitches. Kendall Toyota called to the pen. Here comes AJ. on top of the Dodgers. Moments ago, when Fernando Rodney came out of the ball game, this is Jose Fernandez. All the way down the dugout. Of course, Jose had built this 4-0 lead. And he's the first one to offer a pat on the back to Fernando Rodney. So Rodney knocked out of the game here in the 9th. He's given up a run, and a tying run is up, and that's Andrew Toles. And here is Ramos. Toles has struck out 3 times. Now Ramos has had his issues as well with that broken knuckle or broken finger near the knuckle. A swing and a miss by Toles. The count's 0-1. Since coming off the DL, 4.00 ERA. Left field, Ichiro in, now back. Ball carries, and Ichiro lunges and has it. Wow. Reddick ends up at third. Peterson has to go back to first. Now, Ichiro hadn't played a lot of left field in his career, but he recovered and made the play there.
This is some really good power from Toles. This ball the other way really carries. In most ballparks, that ball is out of the ballpark. See at 386 over there where Ichiro ended up. Most ballparks aren't that deep in that area. And what a charge put in, and good recovery by Ichiro.
As odd as it was to see A.J. Ellis in a Phillies uniform, he was just here on Wednesday night. Look at this. That's what Carlos Ruiz looks like as a Dodger.
Equally as awkward, Rich.
And of course, that's one of the storylines. Many layers of storylines is the fact that Kershaw didn't pitch to his pitching partner. That's A.J. Ellis, traded by the Dodgers. For Ruiz, who fouls that pitch back, and it's 0-2. On deck is Ruiz's former teammate in Philadelphia, Chase Utley. Fastball in. Boy, just in. That one missed as well. Ramos.
Well, I think that was him just saying I didn't finish that pitch. That wasn't the my fingers hurting look. Wow, see that back foot right on the inside line in the batter's box. He's right on the dish.
Breaking ball is out. A.J. Ramos is a field pitcher. He throws 4 pitches. That's his strength. And when he broke his finger and tried to pitch through it, he did not have field. And thus he did not have success. And he's trying to find it right now.
I think the changeup was especially tough on him.
3-2. Fastball got him. .89 miles an hour is either a little slider, a hard slider, a BP fastball. Might have taken some off of it. Yeah, that's a fastball right there. It just didn't throw it quite as hard as the rest of them. Took a little off, and whether on purpose or not, it had a great effect because got Ruiz out front. Pitch range for Ramos. Yeah, that had to be a BP fastball because he's thrown a fastball 94 in this inning. So 2 outs. but Utley at the plate, and he represents the tying run. And a strike to Utley, who tried to crowd the plates. Taking second is Peterson. Peterson at second. Reddick, the runner, at third base. And it was a strike. Breaking ball for a strike.
Oh, another good pitch right there. Now Ramos can pretty much throw anything he wants. He can expand with a fastball. He can try to get a chase down and away. He can waste a pitch.
I guess the question would be, can he throw his changeup?
Well, that's the pitch that gives him the most trouble, because the most pressure is on that knuckle when he tries to turn it over.
Let's see with the count 0-2. Miami trying to get game one against the first place Dodgers, who have won 5 straight. Ramos ready. 0-2 to Utley. Got him! Ball game! And a big one to get for Miami. Jose punches out 14. Ramos closes. The Marlins beat Kershaw for the 2nd time this year. And a 4-1 final in Miami tonight. Utley goes down swinging. And that has to feel good for A.J. Ramos. Called upon to close. He does just that. With some help from Ichiro in left field. 4 runs, 8 hits for the Fish. A run on 7 hits for the Dodgers. Jose is now 14-8 and 28-2 in this ballpark. Kershaw 11-3. 2 of those losses to the Fish. Marlins Live is next.